Welcome, Aries, to your February 2019 horoscope predictions. I'm doing something a little different here today, and what I'm doing is I'm including a rune card for the reading, which just gives a little bit more meat to the reading. I also will be using the tarot, of course, and my other cards to let you know what is leaving, what's coming into your life, and what is going on for Aries in the month of February. So let's lay down some cards and see. All right. All right, the first card is the Tower, Judgment, and the Page of Swords. Okay, Aries, I feel that a lot of you have gone through a sudden reversal. Okay, when I'm looking at the Tower is telling me that you may not know why this sudden reversal happened. Usually when I get the Tower, it's like the rug was just pulled out from underneath your feet and you're like, oh my gosh, why or what happened? Why did this happen in my life? And everything just collapsed around you. I feel that a lot of this is talking about, for instance, the first thing I get is the flow of your life had stopped. What does that mean? The flow of your life had stopped. They're telling me sometimes we get comfortable in a rut. Sometimes we get comfortable in a bad relationship, a bad job. We get comfortable in these, and we grow accustomed to not moving, to not getting anywhere. And when I get the flow has stopped, sometimes what happens is the universe helps us along. And they say, really, do you really want to stay in this relationship, this job, this situation? Because we have something better for you. When I get the Judgment card, it is talking about, again, you've been in this struggle. The Judgment card is talking about what have you learned, what's it all about. But I also feel that the Judgment card is telling you from the Tower that you are finding out that this wasn't all that. So you have learned to stay in this, in something that is stagnant, is not what you want, because I feel a lot of you have done this before. Maybe you have gone through a relationship or stayed in a job or a situation that you knew was not good for you, but you stayed in it nevertheless. So this is telling me that the universe is giving you another chance and saying, look at this as an opportunity, the opportunity to say, do you really want to go through this again, or do you want to get something that is much better for you? When I get the Page of Swords here for you, this is also talking about, again, warnings. So the early warning signals, the things that you have been feeling that have been going on around you, a negatively charged atmosphere. So, home, work, wherever it is that you are, you feel it, but yet you're not admitting it to yourself, Aries. You don't admit it to yourself. So if you don't admit it, then the universe is going to help you to see it for what it really, really is. I'm going to use some more cards to clarify, to see what's coming and going, or I hope you're not stuck in this, because I really don't feel it. I feel that this is really shaking you, to some of you, to actually see and go, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? And that's what I'm getting here. It's a why do I keep doing this? And that means not so much you don't beat yourself up. It's actually helping you to realize that part of yourself that you will not recognize. So the shadow self, it's helping you realize that shadow self and say, okay, now I got to look at me. I'm the one who's doing this. So why? And then look at it in a, realistic way and say, do I want to do this anymore? Nope, I sure don't. And how am I going to get myself out of it? So these are always blessings. All right, let me draw some more and see what's coming up. So for the Tower, I'm drawing. Okay, tune in. That's what I was just saying. When something like this happens, then you go, why does this always happen? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I attract these people, places, or things? Why is this happening? And that's what we're talking about. You look at that, maybe you're putting out, some vibes, or you're keeping in an old pattern that, well, it's always been like this, so I might as well just, not expect anything different. When you think that way, Aries, you're going to bring that to you. So now they're saying, do you really want to keep having these Tower moments? So this is a good thing. I have to reiterate that it's a good thing that you can see this for what it really is. And once you find out why you bring these things to you, or you're looking at that shadow part of you that you don't want to admit, then things start really moving. So the Judgment card, oh, oh boy, there's a theme going on here, Aries. Okay, the Judgment card is talking about, again, what have you learned? Do you want to keep repeating this? And then you got Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is the same as the Tower. So with this, your judgment, you're taking down all your old beliefs, all the old belief systems, what you've been telling yourself, the old patterns, the old tapes. You're just flushing them all down the toilet because you've learned from it. You've learned from it, Aries. All right. And the Page of Swords, the card that goes with this is, oh, that makes sense, participation. I feel that when I get this card, it's about you actually, what it sounds like, you're participating, you've brought yourself out of this isolation that, sometimes we get into this and we get a pity party going for ourselves. And they're saying, you don't need to do this. You don't need to have this pity party. You don't need to think of this as something really terrible. Get out. Participate in life. Participate in yourself and see what you can bring to you, because this is what this whole rune here is talking about. It's, again, the stagnation. The dam is not flowing. There are things that, when it doesn't flow, then it gets all the debris and everything in it. So this rune is talking about looking upon your intuitive side that's turning in, and see what it is that you have done, and then acknowledge it and say, I don't want to do it anymore. You can go back and keep repeating, or you can acknowledge and say, nope, I don't want to do it anymore. So if I don't want to do it anymore, then you look at it and you say, all right, I am ready for something new. So you get a whole new attitude, and you look at what you have been doing and has not been working, and what you can do and will work. Thank you so much for joining me this month, and as always, I will see you next month.